All right, so let's do this. Hello and welcome everyone to this webinar, Simplifying Multi-Channel Sales on Amazon with CedCommerce. Apologies to the one who we kept waiting for a few minutes, but then I just wanted that burritos are for everyone, so everyone should have their share. So now we have a couple of people who have joined here. Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for being here. I'm Ketan, your host for the webinar today, where we're going to dive into the strategies and insights that will help you understand and learn how, in the best way, you can scale up your multi channel business with a native Shopify sales channel app. And here to help me get to the end of this webinar, I have with me Abhipray. Hi, Abhipray, how are you?
Hi, Ketan. How are you?
All right. So thank you so much for being here and
Thank you.
taking us through this webinar. So Abhipray is a very brilliant member of Amazon by CedCommerce team at CedCommerce. So now, listeners, without any further ado, let's dive straight into the real juice. How to begin with, each seller begins their journey by selling on a single platform, and then their goal is to make their business grow with the unique advantages of multi-channel selling. Although 73% of retailers, like while talking stats, almost 73% of retailers find selling across multiple channels to be significant, and only 38% of them consider selling on a single platform. So before going further with this webinar, I just want to present a list of the agendas that we will be covering in this webinar real quick. So we'll cover the benefits of multi-channel selling, major challenges of selling through multiple channels from Shopify store, maintaining brand individuality while selling on Amazon, choosing the best tool for simplifying multi-channel sales, then why Amazon by CedCommerce, a native Shopify sales channel app, is best bet for you. And then we'll also cover when not to consider Amazon by CedCommerce. And lastly, we'll be having a real quick but a real insightful demo of the Amazon by CedCommerce app, for which Abhipara is with us here. So without wasting any more time, let's start with our webinar by telling you some of the benefits of multi-channel businesses that you may have overlooked in the past. So if you are still in a confusion about opting for selling on an e-commerce platform like Amazon or Shopify, here are some key advantages of multi-channel selling here. So first one is improve customer loyalty and conversion rate. Now, sellers who have their accounts on both Amazon and Shopify and are delivering a seamless shopping experience, they achieve a significant consumer loyalty as well. A multi-channel e-commerce network gives you more selling outlets as well over the internet. Now, this assures you that along with the potential of targeting a broad variety of market areas, awareness of your brand is greatly increased. And second would be the diversified risks that you have. How? Well, in this event that one of your account, let's count an event like one of your account is suspended, or one selling route loses traction maybe sometime, or maybe for somewhat reason. Well, a multi-channel product listing program helps you maintain by diversification of the risk on the other networks. So let's take an example. You encounter some issues while selling on Amazon. You still can continue to drive your business with your Shopify account and with our app. Now, the details between orders and inventories of both your accounts can also be synchronized. And on the other hand, if you do have some good seller ratings and metrics, because I know, and we all here who are joined know that ratings and metrics of performance on Amazon play a great role, then you will have no trouble of losing your Amazon account anytime soon then. Next up is growth in online brand presence. By increasing your market presence through a multi-channel order management system, the consumer scope gets even broader. With simple sales channel app like Amazon by CedCommerce, you can easily enjoy the benefits of expanding your Shopify store on Amazon and even more. Next, improved inventory transparency here. What that means, Well, the data of all the networks, processes, and divisions can be consolidated using a multi-channel inventory management program, like the one found on Amazon by CedCommerce app. Now, what this means? This means that you can track your product inventory on both Amazon and Shopify at the same time and without near real-time synchronization. When I say near, it's almost real. So with this feature, you can always keep a track of inventories of your seller accounts. Now, before I move ahead with the next slide, where we talk about the common challenges here, listeners, I just want to let you know that we have our experts live who will be catering to the questions that you might have during this webinar, or in general if you are having any questions relating to selling on Amazon, selling on Shopify, selling on both using the Amazon by CedCommerce app. We have our experts sitting live on the chat and they will be catering to your questions. However, we do have a question answer slide here, in which a few of the answers, if let's say we get a lot of them, we're gonna make sure that all of them are answered to you right after the webinar in the mailer that you will be receiving right in your inboxes over your mail. So yes, keep posting your queries and we will be answering them. Our experts will be answering them. So anyway, moving ahead, now we hope that you have received an idea of what multi-channel selling on platforms like Amazon and Shopify is and the way forward as well. But just a question here. Have you ever like thought what are the some common challenges that sellers face while multi-channel selling there? Well, I don't know if you are very sure about it, but here are a few of them which we found most common and the most important one. So first one is bulk product attribute editing. Now this seems like a technical term. So when we talk about it, when we decipher it, a lot of careful labor is required for editing a huge catalog, and it is one of the major problems often faced by sellers managing separate accounts like Amazon, Shopify, and that too without any multi-channel solution partner. Now, with a native sales channel app like Amazon by CedCommerce, sellers can easily edit product attributes in bulk and save a lot of time and effort. And in businesses, yes, time is money. So yes, you get to save a lot of time and effort while using the application. Next up is lack of real-time synchronization. This is one of the most, I'll say irritating challenge that I have listened from most of the sellers whom we have had a conversation with. So to keep a record of the change in the inventory stock and prices from the Shopify store to the Amazon marketplace, it is a hectic and it even is prone to mistakes. So sellers find keeping a check on the changes taking places on Amazon Marketplace and updating the same figures on the Shopify store a real hassle and a brain taxing. So there can also be cases, and I have heard a few of them, wherein sellers would want to have different product details on Amazon and Shopify, but would like to have the stock details of those very products always synchronized among the channels he or they are selling their products upon. So with the Amazon by CedCommerce app, like sellers can perform operations such as editing of the price, description, and other relevant information without switching platforms, and can even keep a check on the inventory count, as well as by setting a minimum threshold limit to avoid overselling as well. Now, next up, the one of the most, I'll not say irritating, but the common challenge I've faced is is order management basically. So while fetching the orders from Amazon to Shopify, it needs an automated process in real time without much manual attention. And in proper inventory management, like if you're doing it not in the right very manner on Shopify, may result in overselling of certain products on Amazon. And this may lead to losses in your Shopify store. Also, if you are not able to keep a track of your inventory on Amazon properly, sometimes, or I'll say most of the times, it may lead your seller account being blocked in the future, which is something I guess not any one of us who have joined here would ever want. So This is one of the major challenge that a lot of sellers while selling their face. Now, in the list here, the last challenge I'll be talking about is currency conversion. Now, while practicing cross-border e-commerce, the issue of currency and language is always there. Without an integration solution to calculate in the different currency values is no less than a headache. So these were a few challenges here. Now, when we move ahead in this webinar, I'll talk about how you can enhance your brand presence on Amazon. So herein, in order to increase your brand presence on Amazon, I'll just gonna talk about a few methods, few techniques that might help you in enhancing your brand presence there. So first up is show what your brand stands for. Very clear message. Show what your brand stands for. Your Amazon brand identity needs to be designed with your product and customer in mind. Ask yourself these questions that I am going to say right now. Maybe you can write it down somewhere and then you can answer them with your mindfulness sometime later. So the question goes as, what is the USP of my product? What a USP is? Unique selling proposition. So what is the USP of my product? Second is, who and why will someone buy your products, Hassan? So I guess I took the two questions in mind. So second is, who is going to buy your products maybe? And third, it will be why they will be choosing your product instead of some other brands there. For example, if you're selling, let it clear the clouds of confusion here. So if you're selling a products meant for children, so bright colors are usually the way to go. That's something that I have noticed so far. And if your products are for professional use, let's say it's a corporate oriented product. So in that very way, you have to mostly stay away from bright colors and keep the design minimalistic and somewhat sober to match the voice and tone of that business. So in that very case, show what your brand stands for. It should have a voice. It should look like what you perceive it like. Next up is expanding your product catalog. A unique brand identity can lead to better customer retention, and that is for sure. Now, with customers being happy with the product and the service, they are most likely to make a return purchase. For example, if you are selling a Hulk backpack, it may be a good idea to sell Iron Man lunch boxes alongside them. Because when parents shop online for school accessories, they may buy both your lunchbox as well and the backpack as well. That depends how you are, how they are like being listed there, how the recommended products come there. So, but if you're smart about your branding, they will begin to associate your brand with accessories for their children. So consistency in product purpose will ensure that you get repeated customers and greater brand recognition there. Next is ensuring customer satisfaction. Now, everyone talks about customer satisfaction. So how to bring it in? So the relationship that you build with your customers is a part of your Amazon brand identity. Once again, I'll repeat because this is very important for you to keep in mind that the relationship that you build with your customers is a part of your Amazon brand identity. If you strive for and ensure customer satisfaction, customers will come back and shop for your brand. Being competitive with your prices is one of the greatest way I have ever encountered right now. Because this is because when customers get value for money, they're good to go. They are satisfied most of the times. If you have a kick-ass product that is priced competitively, you're well on the way to creating a well-known brand identity on Amazon. That is for sure. Now, one more thing is creating Amazon A+ content. So Amazon do understand brand identity drives sales. That is why the company gives brands the means to spruce up their product pages. Amazon A+ is a feature that allows brand owners, that means sellers and vendors like you, to enhance your product descriptions with rich media content. If you have a brand registered with the Amazon brand registry, you should create, once again, you should create A+ content for your branded products. Basic Amazon A plus content is free at the moment, but you can also hire experts to design rich media content. And trust me when then right, Amazon A plus content will improve conversions and help build a lasting brand on Amazon. Next in the row will be usage of social media. Now, I'm not sure how much you guys are promoting your brand over social media, how much you are active, how much your brand is active over social media. But trust me, around 54% of social media users use these platforms that you're using to search for products. And surprisingly, around 50% of internet users in the world are on social media. So that's more than 3 billion people on social media, out of which around 1.5 billion use social media to look for products. That means they're there for somewhere, you can say, for e-commerce purposes. And this is relating to you. So that is a massive number of potential customers for your business. Hence, I'll say social media becomes one of the best spaces to create your brand identity and raise your brand's awareness. So make social media accounts for your brand if you have not already, and start talking about your products and services, not in the cliche manner, but in the manner that it directly talks to your customers. Engaging directly with customers is a great way to generate social proof, I'll say. Arguably the best marketing tool in any seller's arsenal, that is. And I don't think there's any denial in that. So, if you want to know more about the brand registry and things to note while building and establishing your own brand on Amazon, so we have our latest podcast running on now. We already are through 3 to 4 episodes there. It's on Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple as well. So almost wherever you listen to your podcast, the podcast is available. The name is Hacking Amazon Shopify Success. So if you want to get into even more details, go ahead, listen to the podcast, and if you find it interesting, subscribe to it. Now, enough self promotion right here, and moving ahead to because now you know the ways to build up your brand presence on Amazon. Let's move on to our next agenda that we have in this webinar: how to choose the best tool for simplifying your multi-channel sales. So selecting softwares that simplifies your multi-channel selling experience can be a major investment in terms of both time and energy. That's because selling through multiple channels has these two main issues that I'm going to say right now. At first, all the marketplaces handle aspects of e-commerce like inventory, payments, orders, and customer support quite differently. Like they have changes in them, in their features. Some of them might resemble, some of them might not resonate with you. Second, each of your sales channels is separate from one another. There is no built-in communication between Amazon and Shopify, for example, or let's say Shopify or Etsy marketplace, if you know about it, and so on and so forth. So there is no right answer to these problems, as there is no best providers. Think of it as a research project. You might have done that the same for your product as well. So think of it as a research product. There should be it should be scheduled for a time when you can give it the most attention that it deserves, not when you have max sales or other persisting troubles that are hindering this research part. So helping you here, I'm just gonna take down a few most important factors that you should consider while researching for your multi-channel tools. So first up is your business size and type. Now, before deciding on what multi-channel selling app you should opt for, here are a few questions that you would consider asking yourself. Now, once again, you can have a pen and a notepad. Maybe you're gonna write it, and in the mindfulness of yours, you're gonna answer them. So the question goes as, how many orders will you process, and what is the total value of your sales? Next up is, do you have seasonal sales, like during the back to school seasons, during the Black Friday or the Cyber Monday or the Christmas New Year maybe? So when do your orders peak and at what level they are? Second is your business based out of multiple locations? And how many SKUs and suppliers do you have currently? How many employees will use this software? And what kind of products do you sell? So answering these questions will help you understand the size and type of your business that you're having if you are not sure about it yet, if you have even a 1% doubt about it. Next comes the customer service and app downtime. Now check for the responsiveness and quality of the app support team. Not only during the app implementation, but in day-to-day operations as well. See, slow response times and insufficiently trained staff are some of the most common complaints people face when using a third party app. Talking of downtime, don't forget to ask the service provider about the downtime of the software. No application or app can have 100% uptime. And it's common for apps to have a 99.9% uptime now. But that would mean 9 hours of downtime in a year. So you have to keep that in mind as well. So just one more time, 99.9% of uptime even means that you'll have 9 hours of downtime in a year. So you have to keep that in mind as well. Next up is it should match your requirement, I'll say. The features and capabilities are clearly the reason for wanting a marketplace management system in the first place. So they are crucial to consider carefully. Now, this can be done by generating a list of features by a number of different means. Second could be giving a score, maybe a score like, or maybe a grade, using an appropriate system and involving the right personnel to all those features so you can focus on the ones that matter the most here. And now let me talk about a few ways of generating the list of features that you must look for. So first would be detailed walkthroughs of all your processes, noting what is needed at each step. Second could be the reviews. Like you should review the feature list on supplier website as well, how many features they're having, how they're helpful for you in that very case. Third is use an external consultant as well to get an outsider's view of your business. Now, this could help you in having maybe a broader look of what your requirements are and what features you might need for your business as well. Lastly, watching demonstrations and taking non-live trials of the solution provider to understand the working mechanism. So this way you can understand if the app or the company you're trusting upon is having the very right thing to cater the very right requirement that your business and you might need and you are needing at the moment. See if the app helps you simplify your overall sales operations, improves efficiency, reduces latency in your business, and do helps in managing resources. Optimally, it should in a whole it should save a lot of time for you. Also, take a look at how quick the service providers are to respond to changes in marketplace policies and how often they release new features. A roadmap of planned changes is always useful, but an even better measure is to know what they have released over the last 12 months. So like what changes they have brought, and see marketplaces keeps on changing their policies time to time. So how they're going to cater to the policy changes, what new features they bring in to cater them, all of it is a real important question there. Next up in the same row comes is the pricing and the contracts, as you can see on the screen. So uh, or let's say I personally suggest you, because I've done a quite long research while developing this webinar for you, we suggest you not to go against service providers just because of their pricing model. Instead, calculate how much each solution will cost you both now and in a few different future scenarios that you think are possible and your business might fall into. Now, another key area here is to contract length. Um, how much the contract length is there? While some service providers that you might encounter or you might meet have monthly contracts and make that a key selling point, others will want you to sign up for a year, some offer discounts, and other incentives if you sign up for even longer. Now, these contracts are not to be taken lightly. The ball is on your court, my buddy, my listeners, to make sure the software fits your needs both now and in the future, and that you can afford the fees even if your business struggles for a while, or let's say the pipeline of the sales dries for short or a long or a medium period of time there. Now, next is the overall app's quality. And by the quality, you can even know reviews can be helpful here. So always look for partners in customer reviews. Patterns in customer reviews. Rather than giving entire weightage to individual reviews, for example, one or two reviewers who had a poor experience could be an anomaly here. But if there are 10 and all of them are making the same point, then you know what's happening here. Also, be aware that people are much more motivated to leave a review if they have had a negative experience. So don't let isolated one-star reviews outweigh others that are generally positive. That means you have to keep an unbiased approach here. That's that's all I can say here. Now, read, and yes, even what I recommend is reading what they have to say and interpret it accordingly. Look at your business, how it falls into your business. Lastly, also look at the common pain points that customers have listed in those reviews, and they will give you an idea of what all issues you might face while using the app or the business, while having them as your business partner in the future. For instance, let's take a quick example here. If in 9 out of 15 reviews for an app you find that there is a common issue like frequent app crashing, and it is being listed by reviewers, you should understand that the app that you're looking for does has some bugs that lead to the app crashing frequently and may hamper your selling experience. So that's going to be for the app. How to decipher the customer reviews and app ratings. This is one important suggestion that I'd like to give you that I just have recited here. Next up, why I choose the Amazon by CedCommerce app. I've been talking about it for so long, and I've been giving you instances of why and what to keep in mind while making a decision here. So the Amazon by CedCommerce app is a very unique app, and I'll say that, and in the sense that it has a number of practical and feasible solutions on offer for sellers with problems of varied kinds. Furthermore, we not only help synchronize your products to the Amazon marketplace, but perform a number of actions that will make the selling process way hassle free for you. Well, here are a few of the other benefits of the app that we should talk about here. So, first up is linking existing Amazon inventory with Shopify. For all your existing inventories on Amazon, it is possible to connect them to the corresponding Shopify inventories in just a few clicks. Simplified order flow from Amazon to Shopify. Now, without switching platforms, manage your Amazon orders from the Shopify store and perform all essential operations required from here itself. Next up is near real-time product data synchronization. I already mentioned when I talk about near real-time, trust me guys, it's almost real-time. So synchronize your Shopify product description, price, stock, and other relevant information in near real-time for effortless listing. Next up is intelligent bulk editing with predefined templates. So list your Shopify products on Amazon through predefined product templates and save yourself from performing repetitive category mapping and other redundant steps every time. With the Amazon by CedCommerce app, sellers can perform operations such as editing price, description, and other relevant information without switching platforms. And they can keep a check on inventory count as well by setting a minimum threshold limit to avoid overselling. Now, one more here is get live product status. Sellers like you can always see the number of products that have been synchronized successfully. Furthermore, they can also witness the errors that are prohibiting the product from being synced in the first place as well. These statuses are clear and self-explanatory, giving the seller all the information that they need to get started with their selling spree outside. You can watch it all unfold, sync products, get notified about their status, and plan ahead as per the situation at your hand. Now, getting notifications for failed orders is even a plus here. At times, certain complications can result in the failure of the order management process. For the most part, it is either due to failed SKU details or API failure. It is indeed painful to witness whatsoever the reason is. But now you can brush those fears aside and carry on with your business as the app Amazon by CedCommerce informs you about the orders that have failed due to the aforementioned reasons. Now it's pretty neat and informative at the same time, so you could take care of the same without any major disturbance in your business. Next up is creating set product templates. Now with Amazon by CedCommerce app, you can create set templates for products, and this to reduce redundant steps every time new products are uploaded by predefining inventory of your product, the price, and other important details. You can even set custom rules to be implemented on the products right on the app. Now, what's more there is the fact that our app allows you to sell products from the all categories without any restriction. Herein, I'm going to talk about a few more, I'll say two more features that we have there. So one is currency conversion and easy listings. With the Amazon by CedCommerce app, you can also manage and convert currencies to the one that serves you the best. You can easily find listings as well with product attributes like image, title, Amazon seller ID, Amazon status, template action, and others. You can also edit individual listing by pulling off the product title, product description, inventory fulfillment latency, Amazon payment SKU variants, and their attributes as well. So here, this even stops not here. What's more here is that you can select multiple listings and perform tasks like inventory, price, and product sync, search a product or products, delete and upload your products as well. Lastly, here is the superior customer service. Now I'm gonna push more emphasis here, a superior customer service, because that's what you're gonna experience the most while being connected to Amazon by CedCommerce. So the app comes with a 24/7 support for all users with dedicated e-commerce experts who will help you solve the toughest of the problems, highest of the mountains, highest of the hurdles that you could ever encounter while selling through the application. So that's all quite obvious reasons why I choose Amazon by CedCommerce app as your native third-party sales channel app. Now, moving ahead, I would also cover when not to choose Amazon by CedCommerce. Well, there are a lot of features that Amazon by CedCommerce app has on offer. We have already discussed them, and it tends to offer a delightful experience for all of you sellers out there. However, some of you may still not go ahead with the application for XYZ very reasons. Well, while I or we cannot zero out on one single reason for not choosing the Amazon by CedCommerce app, trust me, I'm saying the truth. Okay, but I will still present a few reasons when you cannot go ahead with using the app. So here are the reasons here. If you do not have an Amazon Central account, Amazon Seller Central account. Second is if you are using other third-party integrations to sell on Amazon Shopify. Next, if your Amazon account is inactive or suspended or is in vacation mode for unknown reasons. If you have an Amazon individual account, then even you cannot go ahead with using the app. And lastly, if you find that the features of the app Amazon by CedCommerce don't solve your purpose and don't fulfill your needs and requirements that you have, that your business have, you can surely check out options that are better suited to your needs. Because at the end, the businesses should run fine. So these are the few reasons where I'll say you might think why not to choose Amazon by CedCommerce. Anyway, this was my time for now. And with this, we have come to the part where Abhipray is here to tell you more about the application Amazon by CedCommerce and giving you a brief walkthrough of the same. So after a long time of webinar, Abhipray, here's your time. Over to you.
Okay, thank you, Nathan. Hello, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. Now, I will be going to present my screen. Give me a second. Okay, here it is. So now I'll be going to present some features and benefits of the Amazon by CedCommerce app and tell you why you should choose it as your native sales channel app. Let's start with the benefits which you receive while continuing with us. Okay, so as you can see in the screen now, the Amazon account. The app allows you to connect multiple accounts and you would be able to manage your listing with a one single spot. But the condition is that you should allows the app only allows you to connect the same nation accounts at the same time. Like you can see in the screen, the account which is connected over here, which belongs to the India right here. So if you want to connect other accounts to this application, you should make sure the account should belongs to the same nation, that is India, right? And after this, let's move towards the listing section of the app. And okay. So in this listing section, as you can see that there are two major action which has been set up by us. Like one is match from Amazon and the second one is search on Amazon. So let's discuss about match from Amazon. What this action do actually? So if you are an existing seller and you are having a listing on Amazon and you want to make sure that listing should get active through the app as well. So once the match from Amazon action get executed through the app and it runs on the basis of SKU. So you have to make sure the SKU should be same in both the platforms, in Shopify as well as in the Amazon. So once the action get completed and it finds the same SKU, it will make the product status change from not listed to active into the app as well, right? So it will get automatically linked. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to assign any category. You don't need to do or create any template for the particular products, right? Else, if you're not having same SKU, we also provide you to link that particular product manually. Likewise, as you can see in the Amazon listing, right? So these are the product which is already available into the Amazon listing, but they are not having the same SKU in Shopify as well. So they are not linked yet. So if you want to link them, you have to just click on the link product button and search the appropriate SKU, which is having in Shopify with the same product. You can select that particular product and mark for the link. So after that, you will see that particular product should get into the all listing and that product status will also get changed from not listed to active. Next, we are moving towards the search on Amazon action. So basically, the search on Amazon action would allows you to list your product as an offer. So let's discuss about search on Amazon. So in search on Amazon action, you have to make sure your product should have barcodes. So once the search on Amazon executed through the app, it will runs on the basis of barcode and it will cross check whether the barcode is available on Amazon or not. If it finds that the barcode which you have provided in your product is already available on Amazon with the same product, then the status will change from not listed to available for offer. And what is now available for offer? That's the question over here. So available for offer is a status that will help you to understand that the product is already available on Amazon. You are not going to list as a fresh product on Amazon. You are just going to offer that particular product on Amazon. So once the status will change from not listed to available for offer, it means that you don't need to do anything. The product is ready for the upload. The category get assigned automatically default into that particular product. You have to do that. You have to just select simply this product and click on the upload products. And within some time, you will see that product will get uploaded. So this is about the search on Amazon and the match from Amazon action into the app. And the next benefits which we are discussing over here next is about the inventory. So the inventory is one of the major part which we have worked hard onto this. So as you can see that, firstly, I would like to tell you that the inventory is a real-time syncing process which we have created. So whenever you're going to update the quantity in Shopify, that quantity will reflect automatically into the app. And at the same time, that same quantity will reflect on the Amazon as well, right? So this is very important feature, and we have worked hard to this. And the inventory is really real-time syncing. And as you can see that in the inventory settings, you have to make sure that the first checkbox enable inventory setting for the app should be enabled always, because if you disable this, the inventory will not going to be transferred from Shopify to the Amazon. And if you discuss in the inventory setting, we are having a handling time, and you very well know about the handling time, but I would like to explain you a little bit about that. The handling time is the duration in which you will be able to ship the products once the order is placed on the Amazon, right? So to upload any product, you should have to make sure to assign handling time into that, right? And along with that, we have multiple features like the continuous selling when out of stock, and set fixed inventory, set reserve inventory, and threshold and delete out of stock. So let's discuss one by one. First is about the continuous selling. So the continuous selling, as we have already seen that in Shopify, they offer a continuous selling feature that will allows you to list your product on as active, and the product once reached to out of stock, it also receive an order in that case also. So this feature is not available in Amazon. So what we have did, we have created this feature in the app, and that will make sure you can sell your product without having zero inventory for that particular product, right? So you have to make sure once you want to enable the continuous selling for the Amazon listing, you have to make sure that listing, the continuous selling is also enabled from the Shopify. And the later on, once you enable the continuous selling from here, you get the option to provide a maximum quantity of inventory over to this, right? So in this, you can see that the app allows you to set a maximum inventory for the Amazon. Like if you want, you can set it to as 100 or 1,000 or something. But if you are not going to assign any quantity over here, we are supposed to send a 999 stock automatically into it, right? So this is the way we are providing a maximum amount of inventory to the Amazon listing, in which you want to sell want to apply a continuous selling feature. And let's discuss about the second one is about the fixed inventory. So this is the fixed inventory that if you provide in any quantity over here, like 10, like suppose you have put a 10 value over here. So this will allows you to set a fixed inventory into the Amazon. So like suppose you are having a 100 quantity in Shopify and you have set it as a 10 in fixed inventory. So the 10 quantity will be sent it to the Amazon. Rest it will be reserved into the Shopify, right? And once you disable this, you would be able to choose the reserve inventory, right? And I would like to explain this and fixed inventory and reserve inventory, you can choose any one of them at a time. So if you are choosing a reserve inventory, so like suppose you have provided a 10 quantity over here also. So in that case, the 10 quantity will be reserved into the Shopify, and the rest remaining in the Shopify quantity will send it to the Amazon. So if you are choosing in any of one of them, the fixed inventory or reserve inventory, you have to make sure that it allows you only to choose any one of them at a time. Rest, you can choose threshold, delete out of stock, all at the same time. But in the case of reserve and fixed, you have to choose only one. Next is about the threshold quantity, and Ethan has already explained about it, but let me explain you again. The threshold is a inventory is an inventory. Suppose if you are putting a two quantity over here, like so, and once the quantity on Amazon, or you can say that in Shopify, reaches to two, and you are having 100 at the beginning, and you are receiving an order, and at the last it comes to the two. At that time, your product will get out of stock onto the Amazon, and two will remain in Shopify. So that will help you to get the chances for the overselling, right? To avoid the overselling, we use or we recommend you to apply threshold inventory. And after that threshold, there is a delete out of stock. So once you select this, once your product reaches to the out of stock onto the Shopify, the listing will get deleted automatically from the Amazon. So if you want that, you can choose, it's up to you. And next is about the warehouse settings. So if you check that in the warehouse, there are 4 warehouses and the locations are available. So you can check it in the 4 location. If you want to send any 1 or 2 location quantity onto the Amazon, so you can choose any 1 or 2 quantities, and that quantity will only be reflected over the Amazon, and rest will remain here in Shopify only. And after that, let's discuss about the order syncing process through the app. So if you can see in the order settings, firstly, how let me explain you how the order will work through the app. So whenever a customer place an order onto the Amazon, and that order will get created into Shopify with the help of the app. And then after, when you will put the shipping details and tracking info into the Shopify, the app will supposed to fetch those details back to the Amazon. So this is the whole process how the orders work through the app. So for that, you have to make sure you have to enable the order syncing from the app. And this is a checkbox which we have recommend you to enable it if you want to sync the orders from Amazon to Shopify, right? So just make sure to enable the this checkbox for the order syncing. And the last benefits, but not the least, I want to tell you about our customer services, which is available 24 into 7. And by choosing our application, you get the benefits of dedicated account manager with year of industry experience for our customized business needs at zero cost. Along with that, we are also available on WhatsApp and Skype as well. So what we'll do over here, we get your details for the WhatsApp and Skype, and we'll create a dedicated group for you over there. And thereafter, in that group, you and along with your dedicated manager, the whole team will be available, and they will supposed to answer all your queries, all your concern which you post over there. And trust me, we are available 24 into 7 over there. And one feature I would like to tell you over that is a book a call feature over right here. So you can simply click on that feature, and also be able to uh, just click on that feature, and you can book a call or schedule a meeting with us. And that would really, I can say that would really help you to connect with us, and we are available over there, and you can book anytime. The representative will help you and schedule a one-on-one call with you, and you can easily get all the solution for all your queries which you are finding over there. And after discussing the benefits, Let's move towards the updates that the app has received in the last 3 months. So let's move towards the listing section once again. And we have an bulk edit feature, that is export CSV and the import CSV feature, as I can see that. So in this, you can update the titles, description, SKUs, brand, and barcodes for your listing. So if you want to update these details like title, description, you can export the CSV and just edit it over the CSV file and just import it back to the app. And trust me, those details will get updated into the app. And later on, you can update it to the Amazon marketplaces. And after that, if we can discuss, we have enhanced listing grid as well. As you can see that we have provided a feature for looking at variants into the listing grid at the same time. As I can see that these are the product as a simple product and one is a variant product. So if you click on the plus icon, you will see that the variant will also showing into the listing grid. You don't need to edit that particular product every time to see the variants and SKUs. And you can easily check the SKUs of that variants, barcode, quantities, status, and the variant title as well. And along with that, you can also look into the parent SKU and you would be able to copy the SKU's barcode from here. And along with that, into the listing grid, we have also added some filters over here. Like if you click on the more filters, you will see that the filters which we have added is like activity and the type filter. So once you click on the activity, you will receive two activities which are showing over the listing grid always. That one is in progress and second one is in error. So while you check in progress, you will see that some of your products, if you mark for some actions like upload or inventory sync, the product will show in progress status. So you can filter out the in progress products into the listing grid and you can cross check how many products are in progress and how many products are having error. So you can later on discuss with us and we will help you out to remove all those errors which you are having into the listing grids, right? And next to the activity section, we are having a type. So let me explain. Okay, so the type is about, we are having two types of product into the Amazon. One is simple product and another one is a variation product. So if you want to filter out all your simple products into the listing grid, you have to choose the simple over here. And once you click on the done, that will filter out all the products which are having a simple over there, right? And the later on, you can also filter out at the same time a variant product as well. So these are the few things which we have updated in the listing grid. And let's move toward the order setting at the same time. And I would show you what we have updated in the order settings. Likewise, we have a create order for non-existing product, set Amazon order IDs as Shopify order ID. These are the previous which we have updated at the beginning only. But the new things which we have updated over here is the 4 more options. Like first one is very important, receiving alert on your mail ID for the failed orders. So as you see that you are getting a failed orders due to lack of inventory or your product or SKU is not found into the Shopify. So in that cases, once you receive any order into the app and that order get failed, so you will receive a notification from our end and you will receive a notification in your registered mail ID. So if you want that feature, you should have to enable this checkbox and you will receive a notification whenever you will receive a failed order into the app. Next is about the sync shipment details. So if you enable this checkbox, you will receive an order shipment status from Shopify to the Amazon. So in this case, whenever your Shopify status marked to as a ship, and if you have enabled this checkbox, at the same time, the Amazon status will also get shipped from here. So if you want this feature, you have to make sure you enable this checkbox through the app. And the next is about the tracking details requirement. So if you're enabling this checkbox, and after this, you will receive a tracking details mandatory for your order shipment sync. Like if you enable this, you will receive always the tracking details into the Amazon after once you update it into Shopify, and the later it will going to be send it back to the Amazon. And the next one is about the item tags with the orders. As you very well know, the Amazon used to charge item tax for each of your orders. So in that cases, if you want that the item tax details should reflect into that your Shopify products, Shopify orders. So you have to make sure you enable this checkbox. Most of the merchants don't want that their item tax details should reflect into the order section of Shopify. So if you don't want that, you can simply just disable this checkbox and you will receive only the product cost along with your product details into the order section of Shopify. And this is our new updates which we have in the order settings. And the later on, we will move towards the product template. So into the product template, we have added a new feature called as clone feature. So this will help you really lot to make a copy of your existing template. Likewise, if there are three template is already being created, so if you want to create another template or you want to make a copy of this template, you can simply just click on the clone button and you can see that the copy of that particular template has been created. And this will help you actually to make a small changes and make a separate template for the other product at the same time. Likewise, if you want to make a small changes, you can simply change the name of that particular template. And the later on, if you are having a barcode exempted for that particular category for which you are going to change over here, so you can enable the barcode exemption as well at the same time. And the later on, if you are not changing the category, some attributes you are want to change, you can edit it over here, or you want to add the optional attributes, you can do it right here. And later on, the inventory settings, which we have already discussed in the default template. So that if you want to set different for the this template products, you can make it small changes over here according to your need. And the same thing for the price setting. If you want to show the different prices as it is having in Shopify, if you want to show the different prices for this product, these products which are going to be a part of this template, so you can edit it over here. And same thing for the product setting as well. And the last is about the product filtration part. So over here, the main agenda for making a clone feature is filtering product. So actually, you have to change the filter products to each template differently. So in this, you can filter out your product by applying, or you can choose the appropriate values over here according to your needs. And once you choose anything and just simply run the test query, you will find that the number of products will get filtered out over here, what you have applied into the query, right? So this is a feature which we have added into the template like cloning. Uh, and next, we'll discuss about the main attribute what we have added over here to filter out your products. And trust me, that will going to really help you to filter out your products into the template. And that is about variant attributes. So you very well know about the variant attributes. The variant attribute is a term that will help you to understand the variation, the kind of variation you are providing into your products. So likewise, suppose you have assigned a variation theme over here into the optional attribute section. And let me explain you by an example. Okay, so this is not applicable for this template, I think. Okay, let me explain you where. So if you're having this listing having four types of variation, as you can see that size, color size, and color, right? So if you want to choose any one of the variation and want to filter out that product which are a part of this variation attribute, so you can simply select that particular variant attribute and click on the test query, and you will see that the number of product will get filtered out exactly what you are willing to get filtered out into this template. And trust me, that will really help you to filter out your products into the template. And this is a very cool feature which we have added into the templates. So you can choose it while filtering out your products. And the next thing which we have updated over here is about the I have already explained you, but let me explain you again, is that the continuous selling when out of stock. Actually, we have updated this feature in the last 3 months. That is, this allows you to list your product uh, onto the Amazon if you're not having any quantity over there. So if you're not having any quantity and you want to sell your products continuously on Amazon, you can enable this checkbox from here, and it allows you to send you the maximum quantity from here, and you would be able to receive an order for that particular product all the time through the application. And the last update which we have added towards the application is that we have enabled the app for the 5 more countries as well as, and into the app we have added like Brazil, Japan, UAE, Sweden, and Singapore. So now the app is also available in these countries, and if someone belongs to this nation, they can use our application and start listing products onto the Amazon. So this is after okay. So these are the benefits and the new updates which we have discussed. Now let's move on to the very important section of the app, which a lot of you may have faced issue with sometimes, as you can see, about the product upload. So without wasting any time, let's tell you the easiest way to upload products on the Amazon by CedCommerce app. Okay, so to list any fresh product on Amazon through the application, you must create a custom template where you will assign the category and map the attribute which show up there according to the category which you choose over there for your products. So let me explain you by an example. So if you want to create a custom template, just click on add new template, right? And you have to assign any name. So suppose we are creating a template for the shirt, right? And once name your template, and after that, if you're having a barcode exemption, you can enable it. We are assuming we are having, so just enable this barcode exemption checkbox. Now after that, just enable or start choosing your category. So firstly, the primary will be clothing, and the secondary will be okay, the shirt. Let's choose among them. Oh, here it is. So this is the shirt, and after that, we have to search for the browse node IDs. So browse node ID will help you to fetch your product more easily. So let's discuss. We are creating a template for boys. So that will be according to this. This one will be the browse node IDs for your product. Now afterwards, once you choose the browse node IDs, you will get the set of attributes which you will need to map, and in the left side you will receive Amazon attributes, and then in the right side you have to select the Shopify attributes. So there are a bunch of attributes which you have to map while creating a template. So let's discuss some common attributes like the brand name. So for this you have to make it set custom and put the brand name which you have taken the approval from the Amazon end. And next is about the closure type. In the closure type you have to select. See, if you find the Amazon recommendation option into the any attribute, you have to select that Amazon recommendation and choose the appropriate according to your product. Like in this closure type, you can use a zip or a button feature for your t-shirts, right? And next is about the product care instruction. So in this, you are having an Amazon recommendation. You can select that and you can choose according to your product. So it is hand wash, machine wash. It's up to you how the products you are uploading, and you can choose any one of them according to your product need. So after that, there is a manufacturing part number. So this attribute which you have to always map with your SKU. You have to choose the Shopify attribute option, and the later on you have to choose the SKU from here. So the manufacturing part number will always should be mapped with the SKUs. And the later on with the product description part, here you have to set the Shopify attribute, and you have to choose the description which you will receive over here. And just after choosing the description, your product description will get mapped with the Shopify attribute description. After that, the manufacturer. In the manufacturer field, you have to always assign the same thing what you have assigned into the brand. So as like in the brand name, if you have put it as ABC as your brand, suppose you are having a brand that called ABC, so you have to put as the same thing in the manufacturer as well. Do the set custom and put the value over here. So you have to make sure in the manufacturer and the brand name should be same always. And the next one is about the model name. So in the model name, you have to select the set Shopify attribute, and you can simply select the title over here. So the title will describe your model name into the Amazon attribute, right? And after that, there are multiple attributes which you will receive according to each of the countries, and the attributes might vary according to the each different nations. So this is an account which belongs to the India. So these are the attributes which we are receiving according to the India. So if you are connecting any other US accounts, you will receive some different attributes. But these are the some common attribute which I have explained you, like manufacturer, manufacturing part number, brand. So you have to make sure you put these values always be same. Like manufacturing part numbers should be SKU, manufacturer and brand should be the branding what you have taken the approval with the Amazon, right? And along with that, there are multiple attributes. If you are going to choose one by one, you have to fill all those values. And that would be according to your product always. Like this pattern type, you can select a pattern type for your product. So if you're having a t-shirt, is it printed, animal printed or something like that? So you can choose it over here according to your needs. Amazon provides you a lot of options over here. If you are not finding any appropriate option according to the list, you can put it as set custom and assign the value over here too. It's up to you. And the next one is a material type. So material type is basically a fabric, which fabric you are using in your clothing category, in t-shirts, sorry. So you can choose Amazon recommendation and you will find some of the fabric over here, and you can choose or you can select according to your product. And the later on you will find these are the details which were required for your t-shirts, like material composition. So if you are having mixture of fabric like cotton, nylon, polyester, you have to present it as a set custom, and you can mention it by entering details over here, like you are having a 10% cotton or 90% nylon. So you can mention it like as over here, and after putting as set custom in the Shopify attribute. And the later on, if you are having a variation in your product, so you have to make sure you have to add attributes into that, and you have to select a variation theme attribute into this. So if you are having a variation, select a one attribute, a variation theme. That is really important for you, because this will consider all the variation of your product as well. So in the variation theme, you have to select the variation attribute according what kind of variation you are providing. Like if you are having a variation of basis of sizes or color, you can select Amazon recommendation and you can choose according to your product. Amazon used to provide a huge list over here, and you will easily find the appropriate variation for your product, and you can select it from here easily. And the later on, the inventory syncing, which is quite similar, you can select all those details. You may change it over here for a particular template, and that will only reflect to the selected products which belongs to this template only. So along with this, I have already explained all these terms. And similarly for the price settings, you can make it change in the standard prices for these products which got a part, which are going to be a part of this template later on. And after this is the same thing about the product setting. If you want to make some changes, you can disable or enable the things, few things from here. And the last part is about the filter product. So in this filter product section, I have already explained you how to filter out the product, but I would like to explain you the concept of add more and add group feature over here. So if you are going to click on add more, you will receive a two queries boxes over here. So you have to select one thing like here, and if you select product status equals to not listed, right? So if you have click on add more, so the product must need to satisfy these two conditions at the same time. Then the product will be going to be a part of this template. And if any one of the condition is not satisfied by any one of the product will not going to be a part of this template, and the product won't get filtered out into this template. Also, likewise, we have provided an option for add group. So you can create two groups over here. And once you create a groups, you have to make sure once you click on test query, the product should need to satisfy any one of the group completely. So if you have provided one query into the second group, and in the first you have provided two queries or three queries, so in that case you have to make sure any one of the group should needs to satisfy the product should needs to satisfy any one of the group to become a part of this template. So once you apply this thing, you have to click on the test query, and you will find the number of products that got filtered out into this. And this will help you to filter out all your products into the template. And later on, you can save those details over here. And after the making save over here, you will go to the listing section. You will see that the product should get assigned into a particular template, and the template name is reflecting to each of your product next to each of your product. So as you can see that there are multiple products into the grid, and they are showing which templates they belongs to. So with that, we have came to the end of this app briefing session, and I hope you like this short brief of Amazon by CedCommerce app. Now back to you, Ketan. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you so very much. Allow me a moment so that I can just share my screen. And meanwhile, I can just say this was pretty insightful session where we get to know about all the updates that we have had made in the Amazon by CedCommerce app by now. So listeners, after we have been through all the outside important aspects of when to choose an application and why, and even the demonstration of how Amazon by CedCommerce app works. Now, let's move ahead and talk about a few new features that Amazon that we are expecting in the Amazon by CedCommerce app right now. So very quickly moving ahead here, it is managing your order settings to ship orders in Amazon only when tracking details get updated in Shopify. This in turn helps to maintain the VTR. Now when it comes to VTR, it is valid tracking rate of your Amazon seller account. Second is automatic mapping of possible Amazon attributes with Shopify once while creating a new template to upload products in bulk. Next up is the searchable FAQ sections. Now, while the demonstration, Abhipray must have been through the FAQ section. If not, but we know how long it is, how many questions there are. So if you are searching for a very specific query there, by now we were not having a search option there. So very soon you will be having a search option there with which you can search exact your query with the keyword that you type in there. And with that, you can find the answer to your questions real quick right there. Next up is the addition of new Shopify tags for the applicable Amazon orders. Now these tags will be visible in Shopify orders that get placed from Amazon. And these new tags that we have, they include Amazon Prime order, Amazon Premium order, Amazon Business orders, and lastly, the custom tags. Now, by custom tags, you can add custom tags to utilize later in Shopify for CRM activities or custom Shopify integrations. Now with this, now I'll just have to like a quick recap of the app updates that took place in the last quarter that Abhinandan sorry, Abhipray has just quickly recited about the same, but then having a quick recap here will help us jot down all the points in a real quick manner so that we do not miss upon any of the points that we have had talked in the demonstration. So first up is the template clone feature, then the setting inventory value as 999 with continued selling in Shopify products, then bulk edit of product details via a CSV export or import, listing grid enhancement, with which visibility of edited SKUs or barcode in the grid, visibility of Amazon parent SKU in listing grid, and more features added in the grid itself that we have seen there, and verify update template directly from listing grid. Next up is orders setting section that Abhipray talked about, wherein the mail notification on failed orders was mentioned. Now, this one I personally love the most. Why? Because most of us now, as being business owners, we do focus on our emails that we receive. Now, by any chance, if we are countered up by more and more tax, so in that very case, we have our emails where we can focus upon and keep an eye upon all the failed orders that we are having for XYZ reasons and can get them resolved right there. Next up is the option to enable and disable the Amazon tax details in Shopify order. Scheduling a meeting with CedCommerce support is added there. Trust me, Abhipray has already stated, yes, we are there to help you out. Next is addition of 5 new Amazon marketplaces there. That's Japan, Brazil, UAE, Sweden, and Singapore. And lastly, the template creation feature, which Abhipray explained in such a quite nice detail. Create templates quickly with the help of variant attributes filter in the product filter section. Now, I have on the slide the QA screen here. However, I have mentioned while presenting this webinar that the question answers are being catered live in the webinar chat by our experts, and they have been answered. Most of them have been answered there, but then still, if you have a query right there, if there's a query that you think is not answered here, there's a query that you think you still have, there's a query which is resolved but it's partially resolved, so drop it in right here, and in the mailer right after the webinar within 24 hours you will be having the resolution to the query that you're asking right in your mailbox there. So that's for the QA section. And moving ahead, by this we have come to the end of this very webinar with having you as our lovely audiences. So as we have promised here, but listeners, before we go, repeatedly, we are planning to bring a long series of educational resources and sessions your way. So please keep in touch for more updates in the future. Now, how do you do? But we'd love to have a one-on-one session with you, share your requirements, queries that you might have, and more. Through the contact information that I'm saying right now, mark it down. That is channel-support@cedcommerce.com. Now, once again, I'm going to recite that here. That's going to be channel-support@cedcommerce.com. channel-support@cedcommerce.com. So I'm missing out a bit. So that's gonna be it. Reach out to us with your queries, with your requirements, whatever you wanna leave a feedback as in reach us. And next up, if not the mail is your thing, reach to us on our social media accounts. That's the Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. Search on CedCommerce and you'll find us there. And our 6 experts will sit with you over a virtual coffee. Now, signing off here, once again, thanking you so much for joining us. And you have to stay tuned for more detailed sessions with us. Once again, signing off here, Ketan and Abhipray with this webinar. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Have fun.
Thank you, everyone.